Students living at the Emona hostel say they have not received their monthly allowance that ranges between 1,100 Namibian dollars and 1,500 since February this year. Hence, the students have been without food for months and unable to attend classes. Students informed Today on One that attempts to communicate with Chief Development Planner Rebecca Namwandi on the issue, and their concern has been futile.
The matter at hand goes about the monthly allowances. As we come from marginalized communities, some of us, our parents are unemployed, and for others, parents are farm workers and they earn a little amount of income. And if we can look at the living standards of Windhoek, it's a bit difficult for our parents to support us and make our studies go forward. And so we sort of like expect OPM to cover for the cost and whatnot. But then ever since the beginning of this year, the allowances didn't come through. And one can wonder about how do we eat and the toiletries and taxi money in terms of the students that reside in Emona, but then they study at NAST, IUM and so on. This is actually the matter that is at hand, and so we have been facing these difficulties. Food has been scarce, taxi fee, and in terms of now the mental state and then the emotions that are in state, because one cannot study at a hungry stomach and so on. But specifically in my case, I had early morning classes which I had to attend, but then there is nothing to eat, and so concentration has been hindered and then focus has been hindered, but then we gave in a complaint one after the other, but then there was no set date or time or date where we were supposed to receive our allowances.
In the beginning of the year, as we are signing the contracts or providing the award letters to us, they are supposed to tell us that you will get your allowance every third month. But after we approached the offices until to the minister last week, that's when the executive director responded to us and said that you guys will get your allowance quarterly, which we didn't know. So once they gave us the allowance, we should have in our minds that we should use this allowance for we should use it in a sparingly way for 3 months. Now, we didn't know that because we know that we are supposed to get allowance monthly. And that's not what's happening right now. Okay, the first allowance always comes after the budget has been released. That's when we got the first allowance from the ministry and our division to be able to communicate with us so that we also know what we stand for and what we should do once we get our allowance. Because it doesn't help them waiting until we start fighting them or until we start, approaching different offices about the allowance while we have an agreement with them.
One of the affected students said that they almost missed their examinations as they had to walk for 2 hours from the hostel situated in Punis Park to the International University of Management in Dorado Park when the exams commenced this week.
They said they will give us allowance, but we did not receive any allowances yet. At Emona, they don't serve us any food, and we are from different institutions. So that what I mean is we have to sometimes food from here, that is a 2-hour food to IUM, and the others, they are schooling at NAST. So there are days that we footed and we were robbed and we were beaten up. The food, we starve ourselves because we have nowhere to ask. Kids, even if we ask at them, they are just, sometimes they will give us, sometimes they will give us with words and so on. And we are really concerned about our examinations. We started examinations these 2 past days. We walked to school, but the first examination, like the IUM students, the first examination, we almost missed, but then they gave us extra time because we food from here and we got very late for examination, but they gave us provision and we did our exam. So the others, I don't know what we'll do and how we will come to school because we don't have any taxi money or any help. Our mothers are not working. That's why we ask for the help of the President's office.
In a press statement issued by Ministry of Gender Executive Director Esther Lusipani last month indicated that the ministry has paid the allowance to 232 out of 260 registered students in March 2022. Lusipani said it is important for students to submit their proof of registration and bank confirmation letters on time because it serves as proof that a student is registered. However, Lusipani said although students are aware of the process, they frequently fail to submit their document on time, which affects timely payment. She called on affected students to urgently submit their proof of registration and bank confirmation letters to avoid non-payments.